So this episode of Invisible, What Have I Done, was a wild episode. First off, this episode kind of held the lens up against Mark and his beliefs. Mark has been trying to instill in his little brother that there is never a reason to kill. There's never a reason to really just take someone's life away from them. There's always a chance to really just redeem yourself, right? And this episode put his belief to the test. He had 36 doppelgangers teaching him that there's 36 damn reasons why sometimes it's best to really just off your enemies while you got a chance. And then the apple on top of the pie was that all of these things got sent out by Estrom Levy, a person that he thought that he took out, a person that he's been carrying some type of guilt for the whole time, thinking that he went too far. And really, in my own honest opinion, he didn't go far enough. Because anytime that Estrom Levy gets a chance, anytime that he recovers, he just keeps on coming after Mark, the good Mark. He even gets all the evil Marks to really just team up on the actual good Mark, even though his life has been severely impacted by evil Marks. But for some reason, he just can't let go of that damn grudge. In the previous episode, Mark did the same damn thing with Darkwing and those Cybermen, because he didn't want to go and let go of the grudge that he had. He held them in contempt because they personally hurt his friends. He couldn't really just bury the hatchet. And that's the thing that drove a rift between him and Cecil. So now the whole thing is kind of coming full circle, where someone is blaming him for things that he had nothing to do with, and someone is using his shape and likeness in order to really just point the blame at him. He wants Mark to suffer in his reputation. He wants Mark to suffer in his body. He wants Mark to suffer in his mind. He wants to totally decimate Mark, all for things that he did not do. And the whole time Cecil was telling him, look, these guys are the worst. These guys have done irredeemable things. But if they're willing to going to be put to good use, if it doesn't matter whether or not, this person dies or whether or not this person lives, but they're willing to really just stick it out to the end, then why not use them to benefit us? We can use their knowledge. We can use their skills. Especially if the bad side is constantly losing to the good side. It's causing way too much damage. And we just need something to even out the scales. And sometimes former villains can go and have their own uses, right? And then we get into this little sidebar episode with Rexplode. Rexplode had all the damn death flags in a row. First off, he gets his life right. Second off, he starts falling in love with a woman. And the final nail on the coffin when he says, I'll be right back, after kissing her, and then running off. We all knew, and I think he probably knew, that he wasn't going to be back. But the guy had a hell of a character development. Going from a fuck-up 14-year-old to asshole adolescent and a very, mindful adult. He knows what he did. He knows how he's been acting. And he decides to go and get his act right. And that's the tragedy. Once you start going to get your act right, sometimes that can go and be curtains for you. Someone called the pearly gates. Rexplode has an appointment. But the way that Rexplode went out, I think that he would have went ahead and just stood by and tried to go and keep himself safe. But when he heard that the evil Invisible was trying to really just kill his friends or flay them alive, he decided that he can't wait for Invisible. He can't wait for anybody else. He has going to be the one to do it. Plus, the way that he's seen it, he was mortally injured anyway. So, may as well go ahead and, just take both of them out together. It's sad, tragic, but necessary. And then you get to the Adam Eve part. Adam Eve is trying her best to help Mark out. She's trying to really just keep the Marks at bay. But she can't hang with him. And unfortunately, one of the doppelgangers end up, just breaking a whole damn leg. And for some reason, Eve's broke leg ends up putting Mark out to fight. And it really didn't make no sense because if you think about it, Mark's mom was still in danger. If anything, he should have went and carried his mom and Eve because his stepdaddy couldn't do anything. But that's beside the point. So finally, Mark has lost his best friend. The love of his life has been injured and taken off the field. And now he's looking at the damage that all of his doppelgangers has done, knowing that some people is going to still blame that on him personally. So the dude is angry at himself, angry at his enemies, and he has absolutely nowhere to toss all this damn rage. And then Conquest comes and gives him a favor.